It's wonderful to be here in Hamburg for Next. I've been to several in my lifetime, and it's always a fantastic experience. I thought that might be a good place to start with what is an experience. Because we think about product design as sort of as the main or the primary catalyst for delivering an experience, I think that if we look toward the future and we really think about what the word experience means, I think businesses and any organization really has an opportunity to design something that's a bit more fulfilling, a little bit more, personal, something that lasts a bit longer than any time you interact with a product. I think that experience design has to start with what is the user or the customer supposed to experience anytime that they touch our company, our brand. So whether it's using the product or whether it's contacting customer service or whether it's talking to a sales representative, all of those things are supposed to be in alignment with delivering one part or all of the parts of that experience. And it's just unfortunately not how businesses have thought about things, but the best companies in the world do. Disney, Apple, they think about these integrated holistic experiences at every step.
And what can usual companies like, not like Apple or Disney, what can we learn from what Apple and Disney do right?
Companies like Apple and Disney do some very interesting things right that I don't know that we give them credit for. So take Disney World or any Disney park. If you've ever been to one of them, you'll notice that every aspect of whatever area you're in has been meticulously designed, whether it's the trash can or whether it's the uniform of the representative or the facade of the building. They go to great lengths to make sure that that experience brings to life what they imagined. More so, the architecture of the buildings, for example. If you look at the castles, as the bricks get taller, they get smaller. The windows get smaller as it gets taller as well. And they do that intentionally to give you as a child and you as an adult this forced perspective of actually looking at something that feels unreal, like that you're in a movie or you're in a cartoon. And these things are done so as a way to sort of both evoke a desired experience, but more so to give you this. What they designed was to be in a Disney movie or become a Disney character or to become part of this universe that's bigger than any one person, that's bigger than the brand. Or if you look at Apple, they meticulously design every aspect of not just the product, but the box, the website, the Genius bars in the retail environments, how one product connects to the next product. All of these things are part of a vision that delivers this experience that's much more aspirational. So the companies tend to run inside differently than most traditional businesses. Traditional businesses have customer service and sales and marketing and digital and sales. All of these things are disparate. They don't even talk to one another. And so naturally, the customer or the user experience is also discombobulated as a result of it not being organized or even defined what that experience should be. So I think since the word experience is becoming more and more prominent in business, we have to start with understanding, well, what is experience? And then starting to build from scratch, much in the same way that we thought about brand in the past, what that experience should be, maybe even design a style guide and hold that as the standard so that every department can now collaborate around delivering against that experience, that vision for the experience.
Does this mean that a company needs more designers and maybe less developers?
I think that when we think about designing experiences, one, we first have to understand that experience is an emotion, right? It's an emotional reaction to any one moment. And if you look at just the definition of customer experience, it is the sum of all experiences a customer has with your business in every moment of truth throughout the customer lifecycle. So any one moment doesn't mean that that's the customer experience. It's how all of those moments come together. Yet businesses measure customer experience today based on when you contact customer service, did I help you? Or when you buy, would you recommend this product? Those are just snapshots of the overall customer experience. So you need designers, but you also need visionaries, or what I call experience architects, to design or define what that experience should be, articulate it, design it, and then work with designers and developers to bring it to life in each touch point, in each moment of truth, so that they're collaborating and working together towards this greater experience.
You wrote a whole book about it called X Experience, and the question would be, do you already have a new book in the works?
the, so I do have a new book out. It's called X, The Experience When Business Meets Design. And the book, ironically, talks about experience design in a digital economy. So I thought that, boy, this seems interesting or strange to write a book on this subject. Maybe I should rethink what the book should be so it could be a new style of experience to basically convey the message of the book. So the design was as important as the book itself. It took 3.5 years to figure out what the design would be because I studied user experience, I studied user interface design in most of the popular apps that we use today. I studied attention spans, I studied what makes people share, and reverse engineered all those digital aspects onto paper so I would create an analog app. It was fascinating, just the whole process. But with that said, it took so long and so much out of me to develop. I think I'm going to sit on this one for a little while. It's an important subject. It's one that's just at the very beginning of being understood, but I already have ideas for what the next book would be, and I guess I better get to it because time doesn't stand still.
That's true. Which trends do you see emerging for 2017 and beyond?
I think we're going to see...
Stop to you. Okay.
For 2017 and beyond, I think we're going to see a lot of trends that we're already seeing today, but just start to take shape and gain traction. So for example, VR and AR, I think we're going to start to see some very interesting and real applications for those rather than just the novelty of what we're seeing today. Of course, we'll see the same thing with AI and machine learning. Well, we'll see implementations of that technology that goes beyond the cute novelty things that we're seeing as well today to become a bit more powerful to design new customer experiences and new engagements and new user experiences. As well, we're going to hear a lot more about the sophistication of autonomous technology within cars and all of the government regulation that has to evolve because of innovation, everything from taxi regulations to hospitality regulations to how do we facilitate an infrastructure within a city to allow for cars to drive themselves. So a lot of the things that we will see that we're hearing today are going to mature in ways that are going to become practical and even tangible for users. But more so, I think there's going to be interesting things that we haven't been able to predict yet, results of the next iteration of a lot of these technologies. I track and publish a report that looks 3 years, 5 years ahead every January, so you'll just have to stay on the lookout on SlideShare.
Okay. Brian, how did you like the conference experience here at Next so far?
One of the reasons that I've come back to Next so many times is that it is a great experience in that it brings technology, creativity, it brings art together in wonderful venues that I wish that there were more conferences like this, especially in the States. So I have a great experience. On my way up, I heard a great artist playing a new song that was just fascinating, and the audience, you can tell, is just enjoying just the different styles of engagement and the experiences that they're having. And I'm sure that they'll say the same thing, that Next brought together 3 important aspects of my life and work, which are creative, art, and tech.